Looking around Gullis, the area seems to have flooded and been ravaged by a recent storm. But if you look just a little closer, there's even more to the story that unfolded less than 24 hours ago. Yesterday evening, a raid took place in Gullis. The locals reported hearing automatic gunfire, followed by a helicopter with men in all black spotted entering. They had no markings on their uniforms, and neither did the helicopter. Located behind me is the building that was raided. This one right here. This building is a very well-known stronghold for the Jinn, and we're going to go and see what we can find and hopefully solve the mystery of what they were even looking for. As you can probably hear, there's music playing in the building behind me. This is just a very stark and honestly dark fact of war that we see when these militias take up in the local areas. No one knows what was in this building and no one wants to come by it, not even the local authorities. I know it's a little hard to see me, but as you can see, this is the area that was raided by the unknown militia force. It appears as though there was no one in this room, but as you can see and hear even better this time, the music is still going. It seems as though maybe they were having a slumber party. I'm not really sure what was going on in here, but this is definitely where the music's coming from. Left behind from what I can only assume to be the trained military group. I'm not sure how trained they are if they're leaving around evidence, but it definitely seems as though those were Western weapons. Seems like maybe they left something behind. I wonder. There seems to be a weapon. Unknown. Maybe someone left it behind, or maybe this was part of the Jinn. It is unknown. I can't believe we didn't spot that earlier. And they say that these people exfilled at the top of the hill here. Let's go see what we can find. I'm not sure who this is or why they don't potentially like him, or maybe that's a dedication to him. It seems as though this confusing artwork may have something to do with why the private militia as well as the Jinn were here. Right here is where locals say the private militia took off in their helicopter. It seems as though this area has been rebuilt as far as we can tell, and everything more than likely is in preparation tomorrow, or in preparation for tomorrow, when the market reopens. But we don't know who they were. The locals don't know who they were. It seems like maybe they work here for some sort of intelligence. They did leave some behind, but the computers seem to have gunshots in it, as far as we could tell. So maybe they needed to destroy some type of evidence that the Jinn had on them, or they wanted to make sure the Jinn couldn't access what they did to their machines. Oh. We potentially may have found something here. Let me grab the camera and come along with me. It looks like maybe one of the private contractors or one of the private military members that we don't know of wrote something here. Jones was here. I'm not sure if that was them or if this is someone who was maybe a tourist, but I also want to know, what does this hand have to do with anything that we saw today? You can see it potentially has those blood red fingertips, but I'm not sure if that's what it's meant to represent or if it's meant to represent something else. If those fingerprints do represent blood painted fingerprints, it may have something to do with the graffiti that we saw earlier. This is the press reporting from Gullis, and if you have any information as to what happened here, please reach out to us in the link below. I want to thank you all for being here on the program. We'll see you next time, and good night.